says regarding last night's chapter, ذكر في الباب تأخير صلاة العشاء واختلف العلماء هل الأفضل تقديمها أم تأخيرها وهما مذهبان مشهوران للسلف وقولان لمالك والشافعي فمن فضل التأخير احتج بهذه الأحاديث ومن فضل التقديم احتج بأن العادة الغالبة لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تقديمها وإنما أخرها في أوقات يسيرة لبيان الجواز أو لشغل أو لعذر وفي بعض هذه الأحاديث الإشارة إلى هذا والله أعلم. Nawawi rahimahullah says, in this chapter there is the issue of making Salat al-Isha at its earliest time or at its latest time, making it early or making it later on, like we explained last night. And there are two main views, main schools of thought, main opinions from among the Salaf al-Salih, the pious predecessors, Imam Malik and Shafi'i, etc. The scholars, they differ on this issue. What's best? There's no difference of opinion about the permissibility of making Salat al-Isha at 10 p.m. and making Salat al-Isha later than 10 p.m. as long as Salat al-Isha doesn't go out. Whatever going out is, whether it is Shatr al-Layl, Muntasif al-Layl, the middle of the night, or whether it is before the time for Salat al-Fajr. However, the issue that's being discussed right now is what's best. Making Salat al-Fajr. When is it best to make Salat al-Fajr? 4:30, 4:20, 4:45, or 5 a.m.? When is it best to make Salat al-Dhuhr? 1 p.m., 1:15 p.m., or to make it later? Salat al-Asr. Is it best to make it at 5 p.m., 5:15, 5:30, or is it best to make it at 7? Like we explained. Salat al-Maghrib, obviously being best to make it as soon as it comes in. But Salat al-Isha, when is the best time? When is the sunnah time for Salat al-Isha? As early as it comes in, or as soon as it comes in, or later on? So he says here, those who hold the view that Salat al-Isha should be done at a later time, the proof and evidence that they use is what we previously mentioned. That the Prophet ﷺ delayed Isha. He delayed Isha. He delayed Isha. And he said, إِنَّهُ لَوَقْتُهَا لَوْلَا أَنْ أَشُقْ. He says, indeed, this is proper time, except for the fact that I fear for it to be hard. And the other group of scholars who say that it's best to make it early, they say the dalil is what the Prophet ﷺ did in most cases. What he did most of the time. And they're claiming that what he did most of the time was to make Isha when? Early. And the hadith that mentioned that he delayed it and he pushed his time back was because some type of excuse or some type of reason. Someone came to him, someone asked him for something, the Prophet ﷺ came and his hair was wet, etc. He says in this hadith, or these hadiths, they clearly show that. They clearly what? They clearly show that. Alright, so that's the brief discussion of the argument like we mentioned last night. However, one may say that the words of the Prophet ﷺ, إِنَّهُ لَوَقْتُهَا, indeed, this is its time, clearly state that it's much more than just someone coming and asking for charity. It's much more than someone having a personal issue. But the Prophet ﷺ stated that this is its time. And the only reason why I don't make Isha in congregation during its preferred time is because of the people. And if it wasn't for the people, I would make Salat al-Isha now. And the reason why I made it late is because someone came up to me and asked me. And since I made it late, I'm going to explain to you that it is its actual proper time. So that view seems to be stronger. That view seems to be stronger because that's clear text. And the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't just delay Salat al-Isha just because someone came up to him and begged him for money or someone had a personal problem and that was it. But he delayed it and then he did what? Explained that it's virtuous time. Everybody clear on this? Tight. So it's a difference between someone doing something because something comes up and not saying nothing else. And then someone doing it because of what came up and then explaining it. He said, you know, you're really only supposed to get this amount of money. You know that, right? Wa alaikum salam. So I'll pay you extra. I pay you extra. But this week, it was slow. So the reason why I'm giving you less money than what I normally give you is because it's what? But then I say what? This is what you're what? Actually supposed to get. But I know you have a family. This is what you're actually supposed to what? But I know that it's a hardship if I only give you what you deserve. So it's no longer the same anymore. It's no longer what? The same. So the Prophet, he clearly mentioned that this is the time for Salat al-Isha. So perhaps that view is the strongest view, is that it's preferred to delay Salat al-Isha. To delay Salat al-Isha. And there are other fiqh details pertaining to delaying Salat al-Isha, such as the congregation. If there's no other place or no one that you can make the congregation with, no, you pray with the congregation. Alright, by clearing this, you pray with the what? Congregation. That's the first detail. Second detail, or detail number 2, is delaying Salat al-Isha with the fear of falling asleep. Obviously, you don't do something which is extra, or attempt to do something extra, and you leave off that which is what? Obligatory. And there are other details as well. Everybody clear on this? With regards to women, or men who are travelers, or men who are not going to the masjid because the masjid is far, or there's another excuse or reason why they can't go to the masjid. If you're not on a rigid prayer schedule, then it's best to make Isha when? Later on, and not make it as early as it comes in. Everybody clear on this? There's a difference. These are all details that pertain to this issue. Tight, moving forward.